Good evening and welcome to another edition of Whispering in the Dark. This will be number 6. So today we've got a bit of a conundrum. So just a moment, I'm having some technical issues. All right, I think I cleared that up. All right, so there was a disappearance in Wyoming a little bit in February. So 8 months ago. Almost to the day, not quite, and a little over, of a young woman named Irene Gakwa. Gakwa. If I mispronounce that, I apologize. So, she's a Kenyan immigrant. She came to the States to get a nursing degree and all that, and apparently got involved with the wrong guy. So she disappeared 8 months ago. We're going to go over this article, and then I'm going to provide some other resources and such. Hopefully, we can get some word out. I'm a little late to the party, so I live in Wyoming. I know people all over the state of Wyoming, but this only came to my attention a couple days ago because a friend of mine had let me know what was going on. There are search parties all over northern and northeast Wyoming, and so she gave me the information, and has been participating in the searches and such. I don't have all the facts, and some of this stuff is not available to the public. It is in the hands of the police department that's involved, and we'll be going over that. And in the description of this stream, I've included a few things. We have the phone number for the police department involved, who's working on the case. So any information that anybody, if you see this, if you have information, that's the number to call. Those are the people to talk to. There's the GoFundMe for helping to find Irene. And so I provided the link for that. I provided the link for the site that her family has put up about it's called whereisirene.com. And the article, of course, that you see here, I have the link for that as well. Also, for those who are interested, my Rumble link over there. Lou, you should be able to. Yeah. You should be able to just copy paste that kind of thing. So, but all that's in the description, and I believe, yeah. So what I'm gonna do, I don't think I've done it just yet. I'm just gonna put the link to the video in my community tab, because that way, it can just link directly to the thing and get into the description. All the links will be available there. So hopefully this will help get some of the word out. Thanks for coming, guys, by the way. Larry, Troll, and Lou, appreciate you being here. So first we're going to go over this article. And they're still searching 5 months. The article might be a little bit, well, it says here that it was published on October 5th. So that was only three weeks ago, but so she disappeared in February. She has one of her brothers actually lives here in the States. I think it says that he lives in Idaho. And they have another older brother who still, I believe, lives in Kenya, but he's been over here too, and in Idaho and in Wyoming looking for her. So yeah, there's the whole thing's kind of fishy. Says it doesn't make any sense. Christopher Gakwa told Dateline about the disappearance of his sister. And by the way, this was a Dateline. This was on NBC, if I understand correctly. So it's not like nobody's gotten any word out, but there hasn't been a lot of like consistent, hammering on this. And if you type in Irene's Irene Gakwa into the YouTube search algorithm, actually a bunch of videos come up. Some of them are recent, some of them are not. So, um, and like I said, like I know people all over the state of Wyoming, and so every once in a while somebody will let me know about something like this, because one of the great things about living in Wyoming is that we have a low population. One of the negative side effects of that is that sometimes shit happens and nobody hears about it. Um, and definitely nobody outside of Wyoming hears about it. I mean, we tend to get ignored by most of the major media outlets unless something, California burns every year, right? So they always talk about the wildfires out there. Usually we've got 2 or 3 major wildfires, at least as big as those, but nobody says a word about that. So Wyoming gets ignored by the press quite a bit. We've only got the one electoral college vote, so they don't care about us. So on February 24th, 2022, it's this year, she's 32 years old. Irene Gakwa participated in a video called her father. It's the last time she ever talked to a family member, Christopher said. Now, Christopher's her brother, I believe, who lives here in the States. Christopher told Dateline that the Gakwa family is very close. Growing up, every weekend we would hang out with family, Christopher, he said. Well, that's a bit of a typo there. It was always a good time. And his younger sister, Irene, she's very kind and loving. She's a very good person. And I don't, I've never heard of this woman until very recently, but under obviously dire circumstances. Really? Huh. Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Like I said in my description, I realized that missing persons happen every day, especially in this country, and especially in remote parts of this country, like Wyoming. And the particular town that she disappeared from is a coal mining town and an oil field town. So it's a boom or bust kind of economy. So people are coming and going all the time. So it's not unusual for people to just leave. Um, it's a good thing that her family had been in contact with her pretty constantly. Otherwise, this might have just gone unnoticed entirely. You know, so who knows? Um, so the Gakwas are from Kenya. Most of the family still lives there, including their parents. It says Christopher moved to the States and settled in Idaho. He's been in Boise for about 10 years. About 3 years ago, Irene moved to America. And I guess she stayed with Christopher for a while, and went to the College of Western Idaho. And like I said, it was for, I believe, a nursing degree. She moved out about 9 months, so she lived with him for about 9 months, and then she moved out and rented a room from somebody. And I'm kind of paraphrasing here as we go along. I'm sure, and if you're on a computer, you can read this, and if you're, on a phone, I'll get as close as I can. So sometime during the summer of 2021, I guess she said to him that she wanted to change and she was moving to Arizona because it was warmer. I've considered that myself. Uh, a few months later, she returned to Idaho for the holidays. She came for Thanksgiving, and that was the last time Christopher saw her in person. And then on February 24th, she had that video chat with her father. So they were just catching up, and then that was the last time anybody she was related to had any contact with her. Christopher told Dateline that he received a strange text from Irene in early March. One night before bed, I texted her and she said that she was going to change her number, he said. That just didn't make sense. He said Irene's language in the text was also concerning. The conversation was mostly English, Christopher told Dateline. He said that he and Irene would normally text each other in Swahili, but all of Irene's most recent responses to him had been in English. And actually watched a little bit of an interview with him not too long ago, because I was trying to get caught up on some of this information before I did this. And he was saying that she would normally use like Swahili slang, right? And then as the text went on, they started using more English, and the slang seemed like something that out of Google Translate as opposed to a native speaker, which I would imagine is also concerning. Said he tried calling her, and she would say that her phone's not working. The microphone on the phone wasn't working, and he guessed it had fallen in water. He told Dateline the broken microphone was her explanation for wanting to change her number, and that to me just didn't make any sense because you could just buy a new phone, and he's not wrong. I mean, you can get new phones all day long, keep the same number. Excuse me, I think I'm coming down with something. Uh, Christopher said he started to grow worried and reached out to their older brother in Kenya. I texted my brother and asked if he knew that she was changing the number, and he said no. He recalled. Uh, Christopher wasn't the only family member to express concern. My dad called my brother and said they hadn't talked to Irene for a while. And that was kind of odd because Irene talked with my dad every day. At that point, Christopher said he had a bad gut feeling and called the police. That's when we called the cops and sent them to the address we had for Arizona. Apparently, she wasn't there. I guess other people were living in the address that they had, which, of course, is awful. Yeah, definitely toss up red flags. Well, and yeah, 7-1, you're right, and we are getting to that. um, the family then Googled Irene's name and an address in Wyoming. Popped up. She apparently moved to Wyoming with her boyfriend, who they didn't know about. Um, Irene's boyfriend was a man named Nathan Heitman. He had been to Christopher's house a couple of times, and I believe in the interview that he said he didn't like him or trust him, like right out of the gate. Seemed kind of shady, which wouldn't surprise me. So he first met him in March 2021, and he said that apparently Irene and Heitman met online. So get off the apps, people. Just saying. According to Christopher, the family reached out to Heitman, who told them Irene had moved out 2 weeks earlier and that she had, quote, got into a black SUV, unquote, and he doesn't know where she went. Said he directed the police to the address in Wyoming. The town is Gillette. The Gillette Police Department is investigating Irene's disappearance. And on April 10th, they announced in a press release that Irene was last seen in a video call with her parents on February 24th, 2022, and was reported missing by her brother on March 20th, 2022. The release goes on to say that detectives have interviewed Irene's friends and associates and have executed approximately 24 search warrants in efforts to locate her, and that digital evidence, including location data, is also being analyzed. So it seems like they're trying, but who knows really. The release states that information obtained through the investigation suggests Irene went missing under suspicious circumstances. I mean, honestly, I'd say that just from the little bit that they've said already. On May 11th, the city of Gillette posted that on Tuesday, May 10th, 2022, the Gillette Police Department arrested Nathan J. Heitman. The post says that Heitman, a person of interest in the Irene Gakwa missing person case, has been charged with 2 felony counts of theft, 1 felony count of unlawful use of a credit card, and 2 felony counts of crimes against intellectual property. I'm not sure what that last one means. I don't know, maybe some form of plagiarism. It notes that Irene is the victim of these crimes. So Heitman pleaded not guilty to all charges in June. He has not been charged with Irene's disappearance. And I believe, if I might be incorrect about this, but I believe the young woman who provided me with this information said that he has an arraignment coming up in the first week of November. So, yeah. Gillette Deputy Chief of Police Brent Wasson told Dateline in an email that Heitman is currently out on bond and awaiting trial for the financial/intellectual property crimes, which are all felonies. Dateline reached out to Nathan Heitman, but calls went straight to voicemail. Called his attorney, same result, no response. I mean, of course they're not going to respond. I don't know why Dateline would think that they would. According to the City of Gillette's May 11th post on their city website, I believe, detectives are asking the public for any information concerning a gray or silver-colored Subaru Crosstrek with Idaho license plates, which may have been seen trespassing on private property or appearing out of place in rural areas of Campbell County, between February 24th, 2022 and March 20th, 2022. It adds that detectives are also requesting information regarding the possibility of a 55-gallon metal drum, which may have been burned and or abandoned within the county, which, yeah, that's nothing good. A new article. Okay. About him getting a continuance from the judge. So his felony pretrial set for January. Okay. Appreciate the update. All right. So Lawson says that Irene's case is an active investigation and remains a priority for the Gillette Police Department, but because of the ongoing investigation, limited information has been released. And and that's just the way it is with an ongoing investigation. They're not going to give the public all the information. And part of the reason for that is in a lot of times in missing persons cases or cases where foul play is suspected or any of that sort of thing, what they're waiting for something is like if Heitman is in fact a suspect in this, they're probably trying to get him to slip up and say something that only the perpetrator would know, type of thing. So that would be my guess as to why that is. But it is standard procedure not to release all the information to the public until the case is solved, and even then, depending on what the family wants released, they may not. So Christopher Gakwa told Dateline that along with investigators, he and his brother have also been looking for their baby sister, which we talked about a little bit ago. So they've been to Wyoming a couple of times. Been to I think they went to Gillette and some of the areas she goes to. I would imagine they probably searched some of the surrounding towns. That area of Wyoming is most of Wyoming is pretty remote. The towns are far apart, so an hour's drive in Wyoming won't actually get you hardly anywhere. It's a big state and there's a lot of space in it. If something happened to her, we definitely want the person responsible to face judgment. I find it interesting that he said judgment instead of justice, but I don't necessarily disagree with his wording at all. And as a description, you can see photographs in the article of the I say young woman, she's 32, or she is 32. She says 5'1", 89 pounds. She has black hair and brown eyes, and she's obviously a black woman. And she is, man, she's small. Wow. So anyone with information on Irene's whereabouts is asked to contact the Gillette Police Department at 307-682-5155. And again, that number is 307-682-5155. If you have any information, any leads at all, or anything of that nature, that is the number to call. It's the Gillette Police Department. It should connect you with the detectives who are working on the case. So that's basically the article. I don't know. Can I? Nope, that didn't work out at all. Hold on. All right. So there are probably better pictures. Here's a picture of her as well. So this is the website, whereisirene.com. This is the website that was set up by her family. And again, the link is provided in the description of this video. It says Irene Gakwa is an aunt, sister, and daughter who moved to the United States in May 2019 from Kenya as a student to join her family. She was working towards a nursing career at Gillette College to help take care of those in need. She loves chai tea with bread every morning and is always smiling and laughing. And I mean, judging by the pictures, she seems to be a pretty upbeat person. Irene was last seen by her family on February 24th, 2022 on a video call. She had recently moved from Boise, Idaho to Gillette, Wyoming with her boyfriend at the time, although she was very independent, and her family and friends became very concerned after not hearing from her and unusual responses to attempts to contact her, and filed a missing persons report on March 20th, 2022. This website has a bunch of stuff on it. There's the latest info, what we know, who is Irene, how to contact, donate, and I think this is a Facebook link. You can contact the Gillette Police Department here. If you knew her, you can talk about the last time you saw her here. There's a help spread the word, another donate button. There's a description. She's 32, female, 5'1", 89 pounds. She's black, black hair, brown eyes. We're going to go to the what we know portion of the website. So there's a timeline that they've got on here. Fair enough, man. And I'm just, like I said, I'm just trying to help get the information out there. And that way, maybe somebody will see this and they'll see something. I can't imagine this is going to be a lot of help, but it can't possibly hurt, right? So, in July of 2021, she moved to Gillette with Nathaniel, Nate, what have you. February 24th was the last time that in 2022, she was seen by her parents. February 24th, Nate Heitman buys a 55-gallon drum. Neighbors report Nate burning something in his backyard the following day. March 3rd, some unusual texts are sent from Irene's phone about moving to Texas, which are not in her voice or first language. Police are March 4th, they're able to access her phone records and found that her phone was last active in Gillette on March 4th. March 8th, her WhatsApp account is deleted. March 10th, her phone number is deleted. March 20th, Irene's family files the missing persons report. On April 12th, the police begin investigating Nate Heitman as a person of interest. April 24th, Irene's family creates a Facebook page to help find her. May 10th, Nate Heitman is arrested on 5 felony charges, including transferring money out of Irene's account, deleting her email, and using her credit card, all of which are felonies. On March 10th, Crime Stoppers offers $1,000 reward for any tips regarding her case. And actually, I should probably put that number in the description as well. So I will do that as soon as I possibly can. For the number is 307-228-4276. You can call anonymously with information if you haven't. And again, that number is 307-228-4276. May 11th, Nate Heitman's first court hearing where bail is set at $10,000. And then May 19th, Nate Heitman's second court hearing where evidence of the felonies was presented. And May 31st, he pled not guilty to felonies related to Irene. And that's as far as the timeline goes right now. I'm sure it'll be updated relatively soon. And again, this is the website is whereisirene.com. It's as simple as that. And the link is in the description. Oh, good. We've got sex bots. Just a second, guys. Let me kick those guys out of the chat real quick. Unless Larry's still here, he can take care of it. But 1 second. All right, there we go. Yeah. Again, it's allegedly, because obviously we don't have proof, but to my eyes, just from the information we're looking at here, it does seem to me that he certainly had something to do with it. So Ashley says the reward is up to at least $1,400 for information leading to his arrest. Okay, so that's good. That should help. Troll Patrol, yeah, the credit card, that's some fishy shit too. He shouldn't have even had access to any of that stuff. So that leads me to believe that he talked her into giving him access. That's why you should keep your PIN numbers and your passwords and all of that shit close to the chest. So then we got the last thing I'm going to show you guys here. This is the GoFundMe to help find Irene. It's also got the Gillette's police number on there. this appears to be the same information that's on the front page of the Where's Irene website. It also has a link to that website. And then, obviously, you guys know how GoFundMe works. So yeah, if you can, every little bit helps. I'm going to throw down on some of that here when my credit card information isn't on screen. So, um, yeah, and the delete your email is some weird shit, Um, and what concerns me too is also the 55-gallon drum. I mean, she's not a big woman. It's. I have my doubts as to whether or not they will find her alive. I mean, typically, if a person's missing for more than 72 hours, the odds of finding them alive again drop dramatically. But there's always a chance. I mean, maybe she's holed up somewhere. Maybe she's, held somewhere. Um, and like I said, in that particular part of Wyoming, people come and go all the time. So it is possible that she just, left everything behind. Although I don't think that's very likely at all. I think there's a very, very, very slim chance of that being the case. But it is what it is, I guess. So like I said, all I wanted to do was get some of this information out there, and I realized that others have beaten me to it. If you again type her name into the YouTube search algorithm, and a bunch of other stuff comes up, and some of it's been up for a while. It just like I said, this information came to me a couple days ago from a friend, and so I just doing what little I can. So that said, I think we'll probably call it here. If you hear something, let the police know. And that reminds me, I'm going to where was that other phone number I was looking for? I'll figure it out and add it on onto the description here shortly. All right, guys. Appreciate your time. Couldn't hurt to I'm gonna take this link, and I'm going the link for this video. I'm gonna post it to my community tab so that maybe people who weren't here for this can also see it. I've got some tags on there that should help increase visibility. So whatever you can do to help, and I appreciate all of you out there. So yeah, well, I think that's one of the biggest problems that we have in this country is that people just don't look out for each other anymore. So I think the more of us that do that, the better off we'll all be. That said, I'm going to call it here. We will see you all hopefully tomorrow on Screaming Into the Void, 4 p.m. Mountain Time. And some of I've started doing some gaming stuff that'll come up when it comes up. Obviously, these Whispering into the Dark or in the Darkness stuff. This happens when I have something that I feel needs to be presented. And then, of course, Larry and I are doing the Abyssal Musings thing on Thursday nights, and we had a pretty great one last night. So that said, Rumble links in the chat too. Maybe go hit subscribe there if you haven't. And have a great night. Thanks for showing up. And remember, YouTube, it could always be worse. It could be raining flaming cobras.